All right, here we are. We're back in the worm bin, checking on it. It's been 3 weeks since we actually got the bin set up. And all along here, you can actually see worms crawling up the sides. Actually, there are a lot of worms along the edges of this bin. The moisture level looks pretty decent. If I look at the condensation right here, and on the other, you can see the condensation there as well on the other top. So that is looking pretty good. And let's take a look at the bin and see how it's doing. So I'm actually opening this up with my primary purpose in opening this up is actually to go ahead and sprinkle in some of this, this is crushed eggshell that I used for the grit. That's supposed to really help the worms. So before I go ahead and dispense that, though, I'm going to go ahead and dig a little bit down and see how the worms are doing since we fed them a couple days ago. So we fed them over on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and dig back some of that. I'm going to get you nice and close because we can already see some worms in there. And it seems like they are really devouring that. Ooh, we got 2 worms mating right there, so I don't want to disturb this too much. So I'm going to go ahead and cover it back up. This is really good. I'm liking the moisture level. So all of that is really solid. Maybe we can go ahead and dig a little bit down on this side here. I also fed a little bit toward the middle. It wasn't necessarily my desire to do that, but that's where some of the food landed when I dropped it down. So, oh, there it is. There's some apple there. And yeah, it's in there, I guess. There's a worm nearby. Seems to be a small one, which is maybe promising that we've got some younger worms in there. But yeah, there seems to be good interest in what we've deposited so far. Whoops, there goes our lid. But wow, look at all those worms along the side. I think we have casting buildup here. So but yeah, that seems to be pretty good. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put a bare hand in there and see if I can better detect what the moisture level's like. Some of it feels a little bit drier than other spots, but I would say overall that the moisture level is pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit you back up here so that you can watch me add in the crushed eggshell. Just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that over the top. Again, this is my container of it. There's a little scoop that I have, and just gonna generously pour that over the top. Again, that serves as grit for our worms, which helps in their crop as they take in food. They're able to use the grit and grind and basically put that through a little spin cycle with the food, which helps it to break down and for them to better digest it. So that's what we've got there. It looks like a little snow day. You can actually see, wow, there's quite a bit of this stuff blowing around. So it's very light. I grind it in a coffee grinder, little coffee grinder that my wife lovingly gave for my scientific experiments. So that's what I'm using right now to grind up, again, these eggshells here. We go through quite a few eggs. And so when I get them, what I usually do is I'll put them on a baking sheet when I get enough, and I'll just put them in the oven for a little bit. And I'll keep going through the bin as I talk with you about this, but I put them through the oven for a bit until they dry out, because some of the eggs are from boiled eggs, and other eggshells are from making scrambled eggs in the morning or frying eggs in the morning. So I put them all in the oven. That lets them all get nice, dry, and brittle, and makes them very easy to work with when I go to grind them down. So awesome. So they'll have plenty of grit in there. I'm really curious to see what it will look like next time, especially after this thorough dusting of eggshell that we have. It'll be neat to see what the worm activity does, and it should be pretty noticeable next time as we see what happens with that dusting there. It should dissipate, and that'll kind of give us an idea of how much work the worms are doing that we don't see. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, any questions that you have about the bin, please put them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.